Hi, I'm John Dutton, and tonight is another night of Spilled Ink that I mentioned before. So it's good to have us here. I see about a dozen people, so it's going to be a good night. I'm glad Robbie is here because Robbie, I have a nature poem that you might enjoy. So here is driving through the Shenandoah National Park. It was just happened in July. I am one of these people, I just need to get out of the house. I'm a butterfly trapped in a family of cocoons. So I have to get out, and I drove over to the Shenandoah National Park and just took for a drive. And how this is a combination of Alice Mergler and myself. So I did the first couplet as I was driving, and then of course you lose cell service. And by the time I got cell service again, Alice had written a couple lines, and then I was like, oh, I better add the ending to this. So this is driving the Shenandoah National Park. And I started out with black-eyed Susans blowing under the sun, alone in the meadow where no one has run. I would simply love to invade their space, but only with my eyes just in case. I'm not meant to break the solace here, so into the distant fog I disappear. Bow slides closer as I drive the misty miles, no matter the murky clouds, we are all smiles. And that was driving the Shenandoah National Park.
Oh man, very nice, man.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
All right, now, I did the poetry marathon. I tell everybody on here, try the poetry marathon. It was a great time. I think I posted in the Facebook group. I don't know when they're doing it again, but I'll definitely let you know. And this is the one, they're also doing an anthology. So this is the one that they selected to put in the anthology. Okay, this is called, this was set up by, the prompt was go grab a novel off the shelf, open it to the first chapter and take the first line, or go to the last page and use the last line. So I grabbed the book Rebecca, a classic horror tale, I believe. I haven't read it yet, but I got it because somebody said it's a classic horror tale. So I used the last line, but it's called Writer's Workshop. William Wordsworth wandered lonely as a cloud as Dylan Thomas beseeched him to do not go gentle into that good night. Langston Hughes pondered, to no one in particular, what happens to a dream deferred. In a heated debate all their own, J. Alfred Prufrock asked T.S. Eliot, do I dare disturb the universe? Maya Angelou interrupted and proclaimed, I know why the caged bird sings. Herman Melville, for some unknown reason, wanted us to call him Ishmael, while George Orwell swore the clocks were striking 13. Charles Dickens was beside himself, for he couldn't make up his mind and kept muttering, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Sensing that the fate of the world rested on his shoulders, Ray Bradbury struck a match and lit the collection of old parchment he had gathered. As he watched the flames rise, he announced, it was a pleasure to burn the books. This didn't sit well with Jack London, for he believed that only he knew how to build a fire. I stood with Rebecca, and the ashes blew towards us with the salt wind from the sea. Robert Frost, having had enough of us all, called it an early night and took the road not taken home. And that is Writer's Workshop.
All right.
I had fun with that one too.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will kick this off. From the top left corner, we're going to start with Robert, and then Brian, you're in the next corner, so it's going to be Brian next. So Robert, take us away.
Hey guys, this is you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. Robbie, Rise, Kreiger here. I was up in Pennsylvania for almost 6 months. I'm back home, full circle, back in the old South. I had to come back. Long story, I'll talk to you guys about that later, but I'm going to continue where we left off on the epic poem about my adventure on the Appalachian Trail. We're kind of going to come out of the Smokies. So here we go. Ready?
All right.
Being pulled further down the path, the last thing you want to do is become lost in the frost, hiker dead on the evening news. The blazes were hard to see on the trees, and the trail was stashed under snowfall. Our past night's storm left me with a 2-foot winding primordial form. Exposed on the open ridge, I split one of my staffs. Don't you recall the ones from Dick's Creek Gap? Out of anger, I threw the other in the brush, free walking until Virginia, slight imbalance in this rough. The wind flew the flakes, snowdrift, 3 foot high, like leaves to a rake. My legs sunk until I declined, eluding the biting air, back in boreal pine. Priding myself on a monstrous 8 miles, I took siesta at the next shelter, awaiting my coming trial. Hiking on like a hero, I was nearing the night of 7 degrees, practically zero. Tri-corner knob shelter had me a bleeding lamb sacrificed on the AT altar. There was no hope to hire an attorney in the court of my coldest, dark, entire journey. My water bottle was a block as the light hit the logs, my boot rocks, knocking off last night's ice and slipping in with my socks. The down jacket was one frozen mass. As I marched up this winter ridge, the sun sliced through like glass. A snowy sunrise at 6,000 feet, fir and spruce of the smokes, body temperature raised, this could not be beat. Captivated by this clarity, I descended into the slush of slip. That stone sure had no charity. Down to 5, then 4,000 feet. The snow turned to slush, and that stone would not let me cheat. Okay, enough about falling on my ass. By the time I reached Davenport Gap, I was run down out of the Smokies and out of gas. Reluctantly trudging some Tennessee road, I worried that I wouldn't find Standing Bear Farm, that gun better not load. Ah, I was rescued, what a relief. Someone was stoking the fire, Standing Bear, tribe of the inclusive chief. Over an evening flame, I asked if Hercules was at the hostel. He was ahead. My bud became a mythic name. So I washed my clothes, slave to the sink, the manual elder's way, then a shower so the bunk and I wouldn't stink. Halfway done. Meandering with some morning wake, so serene, tad bit stoned, until Purple spoke of his foundation shake. The poor kid from a family of abuse, crack will make you quit the quake. I don't blame him. Work, live on the farm. He's too young. There's too much at stake. We call ourselves trail family when everything and everyone else just makes us ache. Culture of the leaf. I hope he's since been given a break. Telling him of my trial on Trey, he nicknamed me Cotton and Mr. Freeze. The aliases still stick to this day. Pressing on, I said farewell to Purple, but I didn't get far from the bear. A Nero of 2 or 3 miles put me on top of Snowbird Mountain. I'll stay there. Too tired, I wasn't getting past her peak. Didn't rest good in the bunk, yet this grassy bald was not weak. My tent was pitched way off the trail. This mindful meadow, no one could take a peek. I was quite content sleeping in space until I woke for the rise, greeting a yellow-red glowing face. She had simple strength, escalating from the opposite east range, not a dazzling display of colors. She was a refreshing change. When her powerful, plain orange light finally pierced above the horizon, I knew I was doing it right. All right, last one. A Nero's like nearly zero, like not many miles. After the awakening, I trekked on, another hike in the hills, mowing a little bit more of the lawn. Descending into delight, sunset field, played out a pink dusk, I was drawn. The starry moon hung over Walnut Mountain shelter, as the 3 musketeers, Rocky, Green Tortuga, and I, had a heart-to-heart discussing what makes us live, what makes us die. Slumbering in the shelter, I had to hit the head, returning from relief to find Rocky in the worst kind of fear and dread. He saw my silhouette and thought I was a demon from the dead. Or perhaps he perceived me to be a bear. I honestly don't know. Please go back to bed. Rock, it's just me, your old rise. The darkness deceived you. Let us relax and close our eyes. Called to the next chapter, I didn't expect to see the guys. At first light, I took off for town through hiker battle cries. Emerging from the forest, I ran into Disciple on the street. Hey, Rise, you're in Hot Springs, North Carolina, and there's someone you need to meet. Pointing the way, he paved a sign. Over 3 weeks of walking, almost 300 miles, and there was Hercules down Green Tunnel Line. He was at Springer on March 6th, 2 days before me. This rendezvous was divine.
Oh, I love it. All right.
Thank y'all.
Awesome. Now, Brian, I'm gonna go to Alice. Alice, because as I was doing this, I was like, oh, I read an outdoor poem. Robbie, I know, will read an outdoor poem. I'm like, yes, I remember all this stuff before this happened, before the COVID. And I was like, oh, that's right. Alice has a poem inspired by the poem that I wrote, or that we wrote together, about the Shenandoah Trail, but it made her think about the COVID thing. So Alice, are you there? I'll ask you to unmute. Alice? No? Oh, she's there. All right. Alice?
How do we get them on there?
I don't know.
John, you can click on participants, put your
Okay.
over Alice and unmute her because you're the host.
All right, let me see if I can do that.
Yeah, you should be able to mute and unmute us, either all at once or individually.
Yeah, this is the first time I see asked to unmute.
I lost Will and Alice.
Oh, you did. All
We
right.
lost the video, but they're still technically hooked up.
I'm here.
All right.
Got 9 of
We're
us.
having trouble with Alice. We'll just go back to, maybe she'll get it working again. All right, Brian, you're up. Take it away.
All right. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
And
Will was back. Okay.
All right. So the first piece I have for tonight is called Woman. Woman. It is always the women that suffer the most, for they are the radiant things, loving without measure. The heavens grant but only one gate into existence. You are the passage, carrier of the holy Ankh residing between your thighs. You are the worthy one. Make them bow down, let them worship. Fingernails and backs subdue them easily. Let them die slow in moans and bated breath. Merge, love them into oblivion. Let them tremble, create life. The next piece is Drive Down Country. Maybe it's the blues on the radio got me feeling some kind of way, and my blue Buick Skylark rusted below the rim. Past trailers and ranch houses where the lights are on, but it always seems like nobody's home. Going down country where boys hang out in parking lots of the Walmart and the Roses, trying to look tough in cars, leaning on hoods and posturing, trying to sway girls' virginity. The waitress at the Waffle House in her elaborate wig and large hoop earrings flashes a gold-toothed grin, says, "Thank you kindly," for her tip. Since I'm from Virginia, to hear it from a Southerner, you can't get no more north. So the folks down here call me Yankee. This where old men say, when my palm get to itching, money surely must be coming. And this where old women say, don't whistle in the house when you're alone. It stirs bones in graveyards, and them ghosts might just whistle back. The last piece is Creole Girl. Ma chérie, of Afro-French blood, I bask in your soft brown eyes, and I, though not of your splendid cast, still give greetings just for the wanting of hearing you speak and stir oceans within me with your tender notes. Ma chérie, my love, my burden, we hide in anguish behind smiles masking sorrow, for here in my heart you shine, you dwell. Now I, at the helm of my boat, and you at the helm of my passion, flow lazy down the bayou. Your emerald dress set against supple skin moves me to steal you away behind the moon and make you mine. Thank you.
Nice job, Brian. Thank you. That was lovely. It was. Alice, are you there?
I've been here.
Well, I can't. I gave you the setup, and then I didn't hear you talk. So I'm going to give you the setup again. That I was
No,
saying.
you don't have to. You
Got
don't
it?
have to because I heard you do it.
All right, good. Then take it
I
away.
just need to, now I need to leave this little thing and go to the poem. So
All right.
hopefully, can you still hear me?
Yes.
You've got it then. When I read your stanzas, John, and as I engaged, I think they metaphorically explain our plague. Back in March, at the approach of spring, our lives were rich with potential that this season brings. And then COVID came with murky explanations, trailing clouds of unanswered questions. We need a new verse to help us get through. I'm starting mine. How about you?
Thank you, Alice. Nicely
I
done.
got a little more.
All right, give us another one.
I'm gonna read a little bit from a book that I've read during the more than 30 books I've read since March 13th. But this is the most illuminating of them all because it's all true. Many of the books I've read are mixtures of what happened during World War II, and this is something else that happened. And it's talking directly to what's going on right now in our times. Some of the most resonant images of the rise of National Socialism are the photographs of the German Student Union setting fire to huge piles of books. And in the years that followed, the Nazis would go on to steal countless works of art from the countries they invaded. But in an expansive and often overlooked campaign, they also sought out and looted libraries from all over Europe, public, private, large and small. The books they stole were collected for Nazi academies and research libraries created to wage a war of letters, to rewrite literature and history according to Nazi mythology. In the secret war, the libraries of Jews, leftists, Freemasons, and other opposition groups were appropriated for Nazi research and used as intellectual weapons against their owners. Then a couple more things that I read in this book. Robbing people of words and narrative and changing them is a way of imprisoning the writers. And I thought this was also very pertinent to our times. Along in another part of the book, American slaves, long prevented from learning to read, referred to the Bible, used by white slave owners as a means of justifying their captivity. They called it the talking book. An important part of their liberation came about when they appropriated the Bible and used it against their oppressors. The book was an instrument then of both repression and liberation. Even today, the interpretation of holy writing lies at the very core of global conflicts. The book does not only transfer knowledge and emotions, it is a source of power. This is often something that has been obscured by the smoke of the infamous book burnings in Germany in 1933, when the works of authors loathed by the regime were thrown into the flames. the image of Nazis as anti-intellectual, cultural vandals has been persistent, possibly to some degree because it is easy to comprehend, and possibly because we would like to see literature and the written word as fundamentally good. Skipping a few lines, whoever owns the word has the power to not only interpret it, but also to write history. Now, I just listened to two of our amazing poets. Brian, your poetry is so striking and goes straight to me every time, and I really enjoy it. And that Appalachian Trail, man, I swear I'm hanging on to your backpack the next time you go. I could go to some of those lodges. I would do your washing for you. I would cook you a meal I could carry up in my backpack. I'm a good cook. Anyway, I love this night. I love this poetry. Thanks, John, for organizing it.
Alice, what was the name of the book? What was the name of the book?
Called The Book Thieves, the Nazi looting of Europe's libraries and the race to return a literary inheritance. Anders Rydell, Rydell, has made it his life's work after organizing a whole search for the lost art and getting it returned. He's going through the libraries, the booksellers all over Europe and gathering back these books and trying to get them back to the owners.
All right. Thank you for that history lesson. And
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you.
I am a history teacher, or was. Yeah.
I will tell you, I will pay money. Just watch you follow Robbie in those with a backpack. I will pay money. Letting everybody know. All right.
Listen, I got 10,000 steps today. Did you, John?
Of course. I went to the gym.
Oh, okay.
You're there.
I got my car inspected, and it was all checks.
All right. We're moving on to Robert F. Robert F., you are up.
Can you let me share the screen? You need to unmute.
According to this, it says, share screen. It says one participant can share at a time. So I assume that means you. See if you can do it.
It says host has disabled participant screen sharing.
All right, well, let me see it.
If you click on, is there a button that says security on the bottom?
All right. Security.
Participants.
If you click on security, you can let participants share screen or click on share screen.
Share screen. All right, try it now.
Okay.
So it worked? Ah, good.
There we go. So this poem has a little bit of spacing in it, so I wanted to share it. I'm Robert Fleming. I'm a writer from Delaware. I'm proud to announce that this poem will be in the Broadkill Review in the fall. It's called Wile E. Coyote Blasted by TNT. Coyote is falling down a cliff, always falling with gravity, never against gravity. No one puts a cushion at the cliff bottom for Coyote's bottom. No viewer cares. Did Coyote die, resurrect, redrawn? All children root for Roadrunner. Nobody shops acne with Coyote. Before the cartoon starts, Coyote already has his hunting gadgets. No children care that Coyote loses. Nobody feeds Coyote. Coyote ends each cartoon hungry.
Nice, very nice.
Let me share another one. So My upcoming publication in Broadkill is three out of my 6 poems about Wile E. Coyote. And this was one of the ones that the publisher didn't choose to print. I'm going to share it. Cartoonist, Outdraws, Wile E. Coyote, and Roadrunner. Under a bridge where water dried, Roadrunner pecks. Standing between the sun and a mission wall, Roadrunner shades. Meet, meet, Roadrunner meets. Roadrunner legs bicycle by Coyote. Roadrunner dusts up. As Roadrunner runs by, Roadrunner outruns Coyote. Again. Coyote is drawn at night, and Roadrunner is drawn at day. Coyote and Roadrunner, hand-drawn by the same cartoon creator. Oops, went a little too far. And Coyote and Roadrunner and drawer all shop at Acme. Coyote for TNT, Roadrunner for road tar, Cartoonist for charcoal. Coyote craves to catch Roadrunner. Roadrunner runs red. Roadrunners don't fly. And Warner Brothers runs an unrun episode. At the studio, Jack Warner's favorite. Coyote outruns Roadrunner. Coyote catches Roadrunner by the throat, releases Roadrunner, and runs on. Cartoonist cheers. Coyote consumed by competition. Outruns Roadrunner on his Acme running shoes. Coyote wins Warner's race. Cartoonist creates Coyote's own cartoon. Warner dictates, don't air this episode. Coyote catching Roadrunner is just for Jack. And let me share one more and I'll move on. This was one of my recent rejections. I recently submitted to a magazine called Innisfree, and the publisher had selected multiple poems about cars and driving. So I selected one about a car. Varmint Valvoline. Varmints I put in my oil tank when I can't afford 1040 oil. Or liquefied roadkills, veered up in a blender. A full oil change is 12 squirrels or 3 raccoons. And I enter the Sunday booth and I confess, I have not wasted nor wanted as I exit the Sunday booth. Vavoom. That's it. Thank you.
Nice. I like the cartoon theme. That's interesting. I like that. I might have to try that, especially being a teacher. I bet the kids would like that too, doing cartoon poems. So I'm gonna have to try that. All right, now Wills needs to go next, so I'm gonna go down in the bottom, my bottom right corner, left corner, and get Wills. Wills, take it away.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to go somewhere. So how you guys doing? Happy Friday. You know, recently I took the COVID test. I received it. I'm negative, thank goodness. And this is I'm reading a couple of poems. One's new, another one old, like not old, but probably recently. So the first one is an old one I wrote like a month ago. It's called Straight Up. Straight up. There are many issues in this planet called Earth. Pollution, war, and hunger. Everything happened since birth. We have heard and witnessed a tragic event. Some were pity, others were can't repent. We can't repent. Sorry. Everybody has a problem with somebody. How is smashing windows, burning, and violent acts protesting? If you don't understand it, why are you engaging? We need to end hatred and discrimination. I wish there's a better day in our nation. Plain and simple. Straight up. So that's Straight Up. And the next one I recently wrote is called Let's Fight Together. You know, the pandemic is driving people crazy, even though Virginia is getting back to normal, but some people are still feeling sick. You know, I was sick like last week and I took the test and I had to miss a week of work to self-quarantine, trying to make sure all my coworkers are safe. So if you're now sick, just take the test. This doesn't hurt. So anyway, so the last one is called Let's Fight Together. I'm laying down on my bed, sleeping the day away, playing my time, wasting my life. I was unemployed for days now. I don't know what to do. Nothing has changed since the shutdown. I stuffed up every bottle, jar, and bag I can grab, searching for flyers, finding out what's on sale. I feel so isolated from you. It's hard to me to do something, knowing the risks. Let's fight together. Let's fight together. And that's it. Wilson won. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Wills. You have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's go to Kimberly Ray. Kimberly, take it away.
All right. Thanks, John. I've got 3 poems. The first one is We Don't Talk About That. Telepathically, your thoughts race over me. They strike during the early morning hours. It's that time again, but we don't talk about that now. We'll say so much that will fit in the space between the silence. But those days where we lit up the sky, we won't talk about that now. But the fantasies creep in, some days, or most days, on what we've done behind the locked doors, bodies exposed, breathing close. But we don't talk about that now. Not now, not even close. The next one I have is Abandoned Sea of Flames. My stomach starts to churn. It's been a while since I've heard from you, and your letter burns with an aching that quickly forms swells in the corner of my eye. I know this feeling all too well. My hand reaches for the source of the pounding, yet I question myself. Why did I stop this river from flowing? Responses form that would never greet your ears and never leave my lips. I toss the letter, abandon the flame that begs for ignition, and dry my face. The last one is Out of the Dark Corners. Out of the dark corners, images of another time creep into the forefront of my mind. Images of you and I mixed with the scenery. Our bodies entwine in front of me, shining down or seeping in, blurring the focus of what actually broke us. Layering conversations or wanting to be held close, I jump into the frame and breathe us in. After a leap of faith, I feel the sting of a slap in the face. I question if I really ever had you by my side. Unsure of what to do, I figure there's nothing left for us here. if all we have are streaming tears?
Thank you very much. Awesome. All right. I just want to make sure, Kimberly, make sure you check my chat. I put some of the titles in there. I think I missed one. So if I repeat, if anybody has not typed their work titles into chat, please do so. Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. All right. I got that message from Andrew. Andrew, he had to change rooms, but he wants to, we're hoping it has not been a problem on the connection. Andrew, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, I'll try. Can you hear me?
Say it again. I don't know if it. Nope.
Okay.
Looks like he's having some kind of audio and video problem.
Andrew, it's not working. You try to figure it out.
Can you try and shut the video off and just have the audio? Sometimes that
Oh,
helps.
that's a good thing. If you heard that, Andrew, Lesley said, try to take off your video and just use the audio.
Like Alice is doing. Sometimes that's, uses the bandwidth, but that's the issue.
All right. Well, there he is. Andrew, give it another shot.
How about
I'm not hearing it. I'm hearing a little bit, but not enough to make it do.
John, the
Yeah.
other option is he could do a screen share and we could read his writing.
Yep, you could do that. All right. Let's see. He's gone. All right. He's probably going to try to get back in, go to a different room. All right. So we're going to move on. Let's go to Lesley. Lesley Tyson.
Okay. The first poem is called Internal Grammar. I've grown used to living contained in my own carefully designed interior. I use internal language with tools, seeking new ways to observe and record. Commonplace because it is never everything. Becoming a story with carefully constructed characters, managed dialogue. It is an ever-present escape when the real world becomes two. So I become complacent and reply to you in a character you have never met, as though you were someone else, because I did refine you into someone who could be part of my dreams, where I am still constructing conversations. So I don't know just yet whether you turn out to be the villain or the hero. Sorry, I'm trying to go through these. All right. This doesn't jump around here. All right, this is called Landscape as Warning. Would it be easier to accept with another dimension to relieve the malevolence of this landscape in shades of gray? Reality doesn't change with the color code, passage of a construct that purports to establish a present, or past. We are still what we reveal in limited dimensions. We are still secrets kept in locked vaults. Even if we're afraid to open too many times, why do you still hope for something in space, time, to heal the wounds inflicted last night? And when I can't come up with the title, I just, kind of do the number thing. Dream number 1541. I don't remember if I locked the door, but who needs keys in a dream? When I turn mythical, playing with mirrors to deflect encumbrances like pain or walls, rebuilding to suit my comfort. Encounters impermanent, leaving only an aftertaste, mostly pleasant. The ones arriving are never who you expect, nor do they fit any definition that could be translated to necessity. I turn tables repeatedly to become something that surprises. I assume control of destination, create inescapable confusion, because I exist where we all need to be.
I love it. Thank you. I love the line, who needs keys in a dream? Oh my gosh, I love that line. That was awesome. Let's go to Megan McDonald. Megan, you are up. Take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to yield this one over to you, John. It's untitled. I only have one this time that's untitled, so let's see if I can get this to cooperate. I wonder if the cat coiled on the bed, reflected twice in the shade of lamps that he has batted to submission, can wander over and catch the fish floating on the wall. Can he chase the bird flying from the screen? Is this what he dreams of while he coils and curls and cuddles on my new llama throw? He is happy and I am scrunched into bed tree yoga so he can take his leisure in the reflection of his new lamp. Okay, hold on one second. The next one is called, assuming I can get it to cooperate. Hades Beyond. By the rivers where the Styx and the Acheron meet, I watch the ferryman scuttle back to block the way. She could leave, but not avoid a look back toward what was needed and not the wants of man. I have not yet drunk from left, and I would have walked over stones of ground glass to leave the sips of pleasure to mourn the hurt of love. Earth above where my love lives, and I do not. He mourns me, but has no voice of silver to woo the soft wife of gold granite. I hear his tears and the whisper of notes seeping through the stones and the fire of flesh on. I have and will burn until I drink from the waters of forgetfulness. I walk away from left, for today I listen to the wail of the most foolish woman. Sorry. Sorry. For today I listen to the wail of the most foolish woman and remember. And I've got one more, if I can get the stuttering computer to work. River riding. The river riding into the sense of light, the story always flows on words, verbal flowing dance. Always changing, never the same, rift of space and time, a reflection of history told in the moment of passing. Oral history has so much meaning, and it is always by lore and history captured as an ephemera. Today, we are bound by words on paper, on iPads, on social media, and everything frozen in place. So let us return to the river writing and let flow of time and the moment. Let us be free of the shackles of today, learn from the past, speak, enjoy in randomness, and not worry about what is on the page. Let us be a reflection of the world. Let us disappear into the scent of light and fade into the notes of music and word.
Oh, very nice. I love the last one, Megan. I really did. I loved it. And I will tell you, anytime anyone mentions the ferryman crossing the river Styx, it's one of my favorite topics. So you had me on that one too. So I love that one as well. All right, John Cowgill, you are.
All righty. Is everybody ready?
Hi, John.
Hello. Okay, my first one is going to be a poem called Holly's Piggies. Holly's big piggy ate a hot dog. Holly's second piggy had wings. Holly's middle piggy ate a whole hog. Holly's fourth piggy ate rings. And Holly's little piggy ate food and ate a little pizza too. All of her piggies are in a good mood and they wiggle on through and through. All righty. That's Holly's Piggies. And the second one is just simply called Limericks. It's like 4 different ones. This is a great story of a gorgeous gal named Lori. She had a twinkle in her nose and had very cute toes, and you will see her in her glory. Here is a man named Mike. He was riding on his bike. He swerved to miss a duck and got run over by a truck, and now he is at one with the pike. Now meet the one called Dan. He went out on a date with Jan. He kissed her by the moonlight as it lit up the night, and true love is in their plan. This is Zelda, ready to rock with beauty that makes you shock. She dances in the street with her beautiful bare feet, and she parties around the clock. And those are my 2 selections of the day.
Thank you, John. I love the limericks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, let's try them again. I believe everyone has gone tonight. Andrew's going to give it one more shot. All right, Andrew, fingers crossed.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Okay, great. I returned to where I had started. I had to switch rooms a couple times.
All right, well, keep that room because it sounds great.
Okay, so I'm going to try to start with a haiku, and I'll read it twice. Coronavirus culls our harmful human herd. Nature takes revenge. Coronavirus culls our harmful human herd. Nature takes revenge. So, did you hear that one? Okay.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
All right, so the next one is called Best Interest, and I'll tell you where it came from after I read it. Best interest. If there is one truism, it's that money talks so loudly that even iron-held positions can be reversed, flipped, and scrubbed away. We'll never change. It's that simple. Never. Well, never is a long time and has a price tag, but it is headed for review in light of events around the country in recent weeks. There is zero chance this is all over. It's how it works. Change comes very, very slowly, and then all at once. Banned, redesigned things that never were supposed to happen did. Money matters in the end, more than principle. This is America, after all. There will be celebrations, but also howling. There will be protests and even fandom. There will be those cursing the cancel culture because they were worried. There will be those who continue to swear, insult, confront, just plain rude. You can debate it amongst yourselves. Getting this upset seems like a waste of energy, but this is America, and a lot of you care deeply about winning. Consider this, though. Even if offended by shouting, would you think that change is coming? Maybe some universal agreement, which of course is impossible, an attempt at being nice or polite? Right, America, neither is our thing. It won't take long before people stop caring, forget about the old, and are stunned it lasted this long. The games will go on, a testament to getting hit hard enough. There is enough pressure that pronouncements disappear like principles bought off. Proud tradition and history, represent please. Hope for a new mission of honoring and supporting causes, good and admirable work for disadvantaged communities should be applauded. Real world efforts matter. What requires further explanation? Even something along those lines might work, or something more appropriate can be conducted with the best interest of all involved, in the best interest of money, which always mattered most. America, you know.
Nice.
So I hope you heard that. I hope you feel like it works as a poem.
Mm-hmm.
And I will now tell you where I got it. I came across in my Yahoo News feed. I am a fan of the Washington football team, and there was a story about the changing of the name on July 3rd. So this is a poem made from the article. So it is called a found poem. And I used the words of the author. None of the words are mine. I simply picked out the words in the exact same order that the author used and turned them into lines of a poem. So it's
Good
called,
concept.
as far as I know, it's called a found poem, and hopefully it works as a poem.
Good job. Thank you.
So thank you all for indulging me and dealing with the technical difficulties.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad you got in. I'm glad Robbie got in, and also you tonight. So that was good.
Yeah, thanks a
And
whole lot.
we had a couple people have that technical difficulties at the beginning, but that's why we get on early and make sure we could fix them. All right. I want to make sure, since Catherine Marquardt is not here, I do read the announcements you wanted me to pass on to you. I did post it in the chat. Right by the Rails is having a meeting Saturday, August 8th at 10 a.m. It's the Collaborative Writing Online. She said, work together with another writer to create flash fiction, creative nonfiction, or poetry, and then share it. Get the link by emailing rightbytherails@gmail.com or sign up for our mailing list at wbtr.org. Contact us. All right. So I just want to say it was a pleasure. I'm glad we can do this. I look forward to seeing you guys again. We'll be the second Friday. Check the website, spellingva.com, and or the Facebook page, and let's do it again. It was a pleasure, guys. I appreciate you, and we will see you again later. Take care, all.
Thank you all.
Right.
Thank you.
Great.